Good morning, Sunshine. Thanks for joining us today for South Loop TV. I'm Takaven Russell.
And I'm Janaea Banks. And here are the top stories this morning.
Columbia College leaders face tough questions as students speak out at a high-tea Q&A addressing campus changes and concerns.
Graduation season is approaching, and Columbia College seniors get prepared at the Grad Expo with everything they need for the big day.
The Chicago Bears are making moves as fans look ahead to what could be a defining season for the team.
With housing buildings closing, enrollment decline, and full-time faculty being let go from their jobs, Columbia's interim senior vice president and provost, Suzanne McBride, addressed student concerns during a high-tea Q&A event.
That's right. Happening at the 618 building in the Hive, students were able to communicate and gain some understanding of the issues the college is facing. South Loop TV reporter Jalen Barlow comes with the latest.
Interim Columbia College Chicago Provost Susan McBride spoke with students today inside the 618 building inside the Hive, where many of their students voiced their concerns during a high-tea Q&A session. Columbia students bring in their most thought-out questions to the school's interim senior vice president and provost during an interactive Q&A session at the Hive in the 618 building.
So both of them was like not an answer, more of like, we got a conversation starting and we need to see what comes out of that.
The goal? For students to understand the role of the interim provost as she leads student academics, faculty, and budget allocations.
And by the way, I'm just one person. As a collective, we may decide and want to explore this, but we're not doing it right now. It's just one of many ideas that has surfaced to a strategic plan.
Reports of past program cuts have some students worried about the future of their majors and minors, but McBride signals a reason behind the cuts.
To have a sense of what the demand is, because again, if you have very few people who are choosing a particular minor, that's what you have to be very careful about how you build a minor.
With no plans to cut majors, the provost has shifted her goals to scholarships, echoing President Bolton's high-tea Q&A session last fall.
If we can find house and people who really believe in us and have a great affinity for us, as I think they should, then I'm sure they can use that money and apply it to things that will help our students.
As the event wraps, students expressing who should be the next to hold a Q&A session.
And then once again, I think just any of them, because they're not students themselves, so unless they're coming down speaking with students, they're not going to get the full story, which is not good when they're in charge of like the students and their like success. Provost Susan McBride urging students to reach out to her if any academic issues occur in the near future, as fall 2026 registration opens up soon. Reporting from the 618 building inside the Hive, I'm Jalen Barlow, South Loop TV.
Thanks, Jalen. We'll continue to follow how these changes impact students and faculty. Grad Expo is taking over Columbia as seniors gear up for graduation. Reporter Anijah Reeves has more on the story.
Hi, I am here at Columbia College Chicago Student Center where they are holding a Grad Expo. Now, the students behind me, as you can see, are checking in with advisors, going over audits for future financial planning, and picking up their tickets for this upcoming graduation ceremony in May. The college recently hosted its Grad Expo, giving students a one-stop shop for everything that they need to prepare for graduation, from cap and gowns pickups to final academic check-ins. For many students, the event is more than just preparation. It's a moment to reflect of how far they've come and what's ahead.
Grad Expo to me is kind of where it kind of hits that you're graduating. Yeah, like kind of lining up in line, getting your tickets, and then taking the photos. To me, it's kind of like a culmination of everything of the 4 years or however many years you've been here at Columbia. It's basically letting it sink in that in a couple of weeks you are going to be walking that stage and that you have accomplished, higher education.
Usually Grad Expo is after students' spring break. It's the checkpoint before students accomplish getting their degree in a huge milestone. But as exciting as graduation is, it doesn't come without its challenges.
I think for me right now, I'm struggling with like the overload because I've had the opportunity to go to South by Southwest the week before spring break, and then we had spring break, so I'm a little bit tired right now. But aside from that, financially, because it's a lot of things, ramping up, getting prepared for graduation, all the fun things. So that's been a toll on me. But honestly, I'm just enjoying my last year, so it's not too bad.
Now today is the last day for the Grad Expo, but you can still pick up tickets and apply for graduation until April 13th. Reporting to you, South Loop TV, Anijah Reeves.
Anijah, thank you. I cannot wait to see how my senior portraits came out.
I can't wait to see them too. Did you get your cap and gown already?
I did. I just got it in the mail not too long ago, and I cannot wait to strut down that stage.
You better.
If you missed your chance, you can go. The Student Center will be offering another opportunity on May 12th to the 13th to get your senior portraits taken and to receive your cap and gown.
After years of searching for a new stadium, the Chicago Bears may have found their match. Many Chicagoans are not excited. Let's see what they have to say.
In a letter to fans, Chicago Bears President and CEO Kevin Warren shares that Arlington Heights location is the only location that meets their requirements for a modern fixed-roof stadium that will provide union jobs, year-round attractions, and global events. I got a chance to speak to some fans, and here's what they had to say.
I think what it does is, I think sometimes we forget that there's so much pride and culture in our location. And so as a team, I really would wonder, who's making the decision on that as far as their branding and their identity. Chicago has a culture to it.
Personally, I feel like the city actually should have stepped in and made a sacrifice, because you got to meet them peoples in the middle. You know what I'm talking about? Both, they got to be a balance beam.
As Illinois state lawmakers review the mega project bill, essentially allowing large project developers to negotiate a yearly property tax rate with surrounding agencies, Indiana has already made a unanimous decision to pass the Stadium Authority Bill, putting the Bears in a position to begin construction in Hammond right away.
If you really ask me, I feel like Arlington Heights would be if they really want to move, I feel like Arlington Heights would be the best choice, because you're still the Chicago Bears. Why go to Indiana? I don't got nothing against Indiana, but that's not Chicago, that's not Illinois.
While the Bears still have yet to make a final decision, they have everyone's undivided attention. I'm reporter Jasmine Walker with South Loop TV. Bear down.
Thank you, Jasmine. So Soldier Field might not be home to football anymore, but I don't think Chicago fans will let one of their own go. Bear down.
Youth ready for the weekend. Here's a 7-day forecast.
Spring is already in full swing, but we're definitely getting a little bit of everything over the next several days. We start off mild with highs in the low 60s heading into Saturday, but it does come with a little bit of rain. Then as we head into Sunday and Monday, temperatures dip a bit into the upper 40s and low 50s with a mix of clouds and a little bit of sunshine. But what to look out for is early next week, we see a noticeable drop by Tuesday with highs falling to upper 30s. But that doesn't last too long because we rebound pretty quickly back near 60 by Wednesday before settling into mid-50s on Thursday. So a little rainy at times, a quick cold snap, and we're back to a more seasonable spring weather.
We've had quite some rain this week, but it looks like we may have sunny days in our future.
I'm so tired of the bipolar weather. How are you feeling?
I really am, because how's it going to be 70 and rainy, making it humid outside? It doesn't make any sense.
Welcome to Chicago.
The White Sox might be moving. More on that story after the break.
Chance the Rapper, recently legal troubles have finally come to an end. More on that story when we come back.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready! We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
Guys, so we kind of tried to coordinate our outfits. We both got pinstripes on. She wanted me to wear pink, but I just wasn't having it.
I know, but it's cute though, it's cute. It's cute. The Chicago White Sox might have been closer to moving to the South Loop after the sales of Amtrak's rail yard. Sydney Richardson has more for us.
The Chicago White Sox have been eyeing the South Loop for a new ballpark, and the sale of Amtrak's 47-square-acre rail yard might be the start of that move. Justin Ishbia, the future majority owner of the baseball team, is looking to buy the rail yard through his private equity firm Shore Capital Partners. The yard sits between Roosevelt Road and 18th Street, just across the river from the 78, a development where the Chicago Fire recently broke ground on a new soccer stadium. The rail yard in the 78 neighbor Chinatown, and Sarah Tang, the director of programs for Chicago's Coalition for a Better Chinese American Community, said the sports teams could displace residents, many of whom are immigrants and are already struggling with rising rents in the neighborhood.
Having two stadiums like right north of Chinatown is extremely concerning, especially with baseball being like a much more like a bigger sport in the city, and the impact of two stadiums. I don't even know how to measure or project what kind of displacement that would bring.
Over the years, rising rents and a lack of affordable housing have caused Chicago's Chinese American community to migrate further south and west into neighborhoods like Bridgeport and McKinley Park. The White Sox currently reside on 35th Street in the Bridgeport Armour Square area, where they have called home since 1910.
We also have a huge public housing wait list in Chicago, so I think any sort of housing would be preferable on that rail yard. It is for residents, it's close to the highway, it's connected to some grocery stores, it's connected to like kind of the shopping area in South Loop, and it would be an ideal residential area, I think.
The team has not announced official plans to build a new stadium, but the sale of the rail yard brings the team one step closer to a potential move to the South Loop. Reporting from the South Loop for South Loop TV, I'm Sydney Richardson.
Thanks, Sydney. It's a big what if those conversations go on, especially with the Bears thinking of moving out of Chicago.
Chicago-owned Chance the Rapper is celebrating a major legal victory after a year-long courtroom battle with his own former manager. Our reporter Happy Lightfoot has more on this story.
After nearly 5 years of legal disputes, a Cook County jury has ruled in favor of Chance the Rapper, whose legal name is Chancellor Bennett, rejecting a $3.8 million claim brought on by his former manager, Patrick Corcoran, who helped to guide Chance's rise from an independent Chicago artist to a Grammy-winning star. Claimed he was owed millions in unpaid commissions following their split back in 2020. But jurors ultimately sided with the artist, finding that Corcoran's claims did not hold up in court, marking a decisive end to a dispute that has followed Chance throughout much of his recent career. In a statement following the verdict, Chance expressed relief, calling the decision a step forward after years of legal uncertainty. The case also sheds light on the complexities of artist-manager relationships, especially for independent artists, navigating success outside of traditional record label systems. For Chance, whose career has been deeply rooted in Chicago's culture and community, the ruling clears the path for his next chapter, both creatively and professionally. From Chicago with South Loop TV, I'm Happy Lightfoot.
Thank you, Happy. 5 years is a long time to be in court. I will be over it too.
They say it's usually one of your own. The weekend is here. Here's what you can expect from the weather.
Let's walk through it day by day. Today, looking at showers and even a chance for a few rumbles of thunder. Highs around 61, so not so cold, but definitely keep that umbrella handy. Saturday, still mid in the low 60s, but we hang on to some scattered rain. Not a washout, but not the best day either if you're planning something outdoors. Sunday, a bit cooler with highs near 50. We'll get a mix of clouds and some sunshine, so if you want to go outside, a light jacket will do. Monday stays on the cooler side, upper 40s with lots of clouds around. Not terrible, just a little gray. And Tuesday is the day you'll really feel the change. Highs drop into the upper 30s, back to winter mode for a moment. So have that winter coat ready. But good news, it doesn't stick around. We bounce back to 60 by Wednesday, much more comfortable before we head into Thursday, mid 50s. So this is a week where we need a lot of options, umbrella, light jacket, and have that winter coat ready just in case.
Apple is launching a new laptop that can be affordable. More on that story when we get back.
Easter is coming up, and what we want to know is about the infamous Peeps candy coming up after break.
People couldn't see my potential, so I had to show them.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
Today, I'm the CEO of my own company.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Why are we not rethinking this?
I am more.
I'm more than
who I am on paper.
With the affordable price of a MacBook, I might exchange mine.
I was thinking about that too, however, I don't think it's worth it. Apple is shaking up its own computer line by introducing a new MacBook targeting college students with an unusually low price tag for the brand in a new wave of colors. Hunter Warner has more.
Last month, Apple unveiled the MacBook Neo, a new MacBook coming to its lineup that falls below the price tag of the MacBook Air, starting at $499 for students.
To get that signature MacBook experience, previously you would have had to spend around $1,000 on a MacBook Air. But in a surprising move, Apple is opening up its ecosystem to more users, pricing the MacBook Neo at $499 for students and $599 for everybody else. Apple is also introducing a new color lineup. Instead of the typical gray aluminum finishes, the MacBook Neo comes in pink, yellow, and a purple, a shift that aligns more with the iPhone and appears aimed at attracting younger buyers. And for some, it's definitely sparking their interest.
When Apple made the first purple lavenderish one, I got it immediately. Yeah. And then when I got a chance to get a new phone, I had to get the pink one. It's just everybody likes colors, you know? It's pink.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Nice
phone.
And for others, not so much.
Not really. I'm already an owner, so.
To reach the lower price, Apple made several compromises. The MacBook Neo removes the Touch ID by default and uses a more traditional trackpad design. Most notably, it replaces the M series chips with processors typically found in the iPhone. That means performance will take a hit, especially for creative work. But that's not what this laptop is built for. It's designed for an entry point into the Apple ecosystem, for everyday tasks like word processing or spreadsheets. It should be able to perform reliably for most users.
Now, to be clear, the MacBook Neo is not made for everyone. This new laptop is using iPhone processors and chips, meaning that it is not nearly as powerful as the other MacBooks in the lineup. But this is still something to keep in mind if you're looking for a new laptop. This has been Hunter Warner reporting in the South Loop for South Loop TV.
Wow, Hunter, thank you. That new price is definitely fitting for a student's budget. And the new blush color totally matches my cheekbones.
Peeps are back on store shelves, but are they still a treat people actually enjoy? Reporter Andrea Childress went on campus to find out.
Every spring they make their return, bright, sugary, and impossible to miss. Marshmallow Peeps have become an Easter staple, but not everyone is a fan. Today we're here at the Student Center to find out, are Peeps a beloved treat or just too much sugar to handle?
Filling up the store shelves each spring, Peeps have become a familiar sight in the candy aisle. But beyond the bright colors and sugary coating, the brand has expanded far past its classic marshmallow roots, now including everything from toys to bath products. Back on campus, students are putting the classic treat to the test, some for the first time and others revisiting a taste from childhood.
I like Peeps, I think mostly for the nostalgia, just because of the cute shape, and it was a marshmallow. I really liked marshmallows growing up. During Easter egg hunts, or my grandma would have them at the end of the day. It was just like a special occasion kind of thing, and it being candy also helped with that. So every time I think of it, I'm pretty happy, just because it reminds me of family, getting together. It just makes me happy. I love the texture.
I've never had a Peep before, so this is actually my first time trying it. That's actually pretty good.
It's super sweet, actually, now it's settling in my mouth.
With opinions already split, not everyone is sure what to expect. Despite their popularity, some students say they've seen Peeps for years, but never felt the need to try them. While some students say Peeps bring back a sweet memory, others say the sugary treat is just too much.
When I'm in store, like I see Peeps all the time, and I actually do question like who's buying it, but I do see them all the time. I just never took it out my day like, let me go try some. Something I would continually buy in store, like I'm not gonna walk in and be like, oh, let me get some Peeps. I'll probably get like a Hershey before I get this, but it's good.
Just tastes like a regular marshmallow, but just with a tiny bit of crunch at for the outside sugar.
So whether you love them or not, one thing is clear. This Easter classic won't be going stale anytime soon. Reporting from the Student Center, I'm Andrea Childress for South Loop TV.
Thank you, Andrea. Do you like to have Peeps in your Easter basket, Kaven?
I don't have an Easter basket, but I think it's crazy that our team has been having this argument for weeks, and I still haven't tried a Peep.
I haven't either. I don't remember the last time I had one, or even an Easter basket at that. With that, we hope you all have a great Easter Sunday this weekend. I'm Janaea Banks.
And I'm Kaven Russell. We'll see you next week with South Loop TV.
I can't wait to do Easter. Are you doing anything?
I'm going to see